that live where with the donation. I did sit through that live where she was talking to somebody about creating a trust fund for Nick, and that, you know, if the trust were in place, people would probably feel more secure sending to Nick. And people were in the chat saying that they would donate if that were the case. And so she was mentally adding up how much would be donated, and it came up to like, I don't know, 6,000, whatever. So, you know, it wasn't, people weren't like giving money. They were saying, I would give money, I would give this money. And so people kind of chimed in. So that's where that all originated from. I was there firsthand. I knew, you know, I heard that one. So it wasn't like anybody donated money. It was just they're saying they would donate if there was a trust.
In terms of the donations, no, she definitely didn't take any donations that day for Nick. But what she was doing was trying to convince me to ask the admin to get a trust. And I was trying to explain why that wouldn't work and why it's not appropriate. And she continued to go on and say like, oh, well, I donate $1,000. And then I think it was Naomi was like, yeah, I've got $1,000 for Nick. All right, if you've all got $1,000 to just give away to Nick at the drop of a hat, then why did the community have to pay for those billboards?
That's...
Why you do it yourself? Confused.
Right there.
Because Nick doesn't need your money. Well, he does, but you're not going to donate it to the Spot Fund, so it's not going to go to Nick. So by my logic, you've just got $1,000 sat around doing nothing, and wasn't it $1,000 for the billboard? Naomi's got $1,000, so she's, there you go. You've got $2,000. You don't need donations from anybody in this community. You've got your own money, ladies, to just put down at the drop of a hat. Go use that money. What you asking billboards? And I'm sorry, but it did feel like it was a bit of a bidding contest. Like she's going, now we've got 1,000, 2,000, now we've got 3,000, now we've got 3,500. See, now we can have 3,900. Now we've got 3,000. I'm sorry. Are we at the auction house? Let me just get my gable.
Can I just make a statement on trusts? Guys, go Google trusts. If you don't know about them, they're very scammy. You got to be very careful with trust, because who the beneficiary is and who the person is in charge of the trust, be very careful with the trust. A trust sounds good in theory, but be very careful, please, because trusts are the biggest scam going.
He also said people didn't know how to put money on his books so they could donate there.
What was she scamming on before, Gypsy Rose Blanchard? Honestly, I can't tell you, because I don't go background searching into people. What I do know is that she has...
Jen?
Sorry, go on, Ivory.
Sorry, are we talking about Jen?
Yeah.
Jen has a long history of scamming, even before she came to TikTok, even before she came and spoke about Gypsy and Nick. She has a very long history. There have been people who called her out online, her businesses, all of it. She has a long history of scamming.
So on that note, I did see something about one of her businesses that had been set up, and it was like a home care business, and there was a lot of people reviewing saying that they didn't receive what they were supposed to receive, which seems to be a common theme with Jen. I do know that she's got 3 separate offences on her record for writing cash in bad checks. You won't find those things on my record because I've never done anything like that. So to accuse me of being a thief is crazy.
Was one of those checks for the Birkin bag? Sorry, I had to.
Or for the Rolex. Or a second home. You know, all these things that she brags about. Unclear. Honestly, it's unclear if she's still... Yeah, that is true. I would never...
Is that she still volunteers for the Cajun Navy.
So she isn't an executive of the Cajun Navy at all?
Nor was she ever, and that was a response straight from them.
Yeah.
They asked her to take it off her bio, and she did. I don't know if everyone remembers when that whole thing went down. They asked her, they were going to request in the email, they said we will request for her to take that information down, and not the next day, she took it down and changed her bio.